Hello, everyone. Um, I'm going to go get the live stream up. Hold on so that I can see the chat. And I will start the chat. Hi, all. Because sometimes the chat doesn't start until I get it started. Okay. I'm going to see who's coming in, and I'm going to get my yarn ready. I had prematurely put away all my yarn that I purchased after my Instagram live. So I think I brought it all back out, but I'm not sure. But anyway, tell me you're here. Say hello in the chat when you're here. I just want to get hold on, I'm gonna close this window. So many windows. Hello from London, Ontario. Hello. Janice is here. Okay. Oh, I didn't put on any makeup today. I just realized that. I'm so used to Zoom, my Zoom makeup. Zoom puts lipstick on me, which I like, but I forgot I'm not doing this through Zoom anymore. I'm doing it through my streamer. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna pile up my yarn over here. And I'm gonna get ready, just waiting for a couple more people to come in. Oh, hello. Okay, if you're here, give me a little hi in the chat. Let me know you're here. I know this was like ridiculously last minute, but I looked at my calendar and realized I leave town tomorrow. Hi, Vicky. I leave town tomorrow to go visit my brother, and then I'm back just for a couple days. Then I have my book celebration YouTube live on the 24th. You're going to see Trixie. Trixie came with me on the cruise for my travels with Trixie. So, by the way, I'll put it in the notes, but if you haven't already, or even if you have, go ahead and don't forget to enter the 2 huge grand prize packages for posting pictures with where you've traveled with Trixie. And you can either put it on Instagram and tag me. If you're not on Instagram, you can post it on my website. I'll put a little link. And you use the hashtag travels with Trixie. And the other huge giveaway is for best lessons learned. So best lesson, something you've learned in the book. If you post a picture of your work and a little story about what you learned and use hashtag Trixie taught me, which by the way, here's a fun live and learn. Look up your hashtag. So apparently that's already a hashtag, something to do with Lord of the Rings, I think. Anyway, hello from Alexandria, Virginia, Buffalo, Wisconsin. Okay, so I'm here today to tell you about our cruise on the Rhine River, which was amazeballs. I, I, I ran out of time, so I'll show you some of the pictures that I put together. I started I started by being really organized and labeling them, and then I was just like, oh my God, it's almost 2 o'clock. There's a light in my shot. I just saw that. I just got a new light, and it is in my shot. I can't tell if this is the one I'm... Anyway, I'm going to try not to get distracted. Too late! So... I went on a Rhine River cruise with SPJ Retreats, and it was unbelievable. I was there with Grocery Girl Knits and Cabin Boy Knits, and we had 3 yarn store sponsors that traveled with us. We had Rosehaven Yarn, we had Espace Tricot, we had Skein Sisters, and then there was a yarn shop on the boat. It was absolutely incredible. So I thought I would just show you some photos. I can't tell if my, hold on. I can't tell if my head is in the shot because of the delay. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So again, I started being really organized and then I stopped. But we started in Amsterdam and we had, some of us did a 3-day pre-travel trip, which was amazing. And it happened to be Pride weekend, which was incredible. They do a parade on the canal. So that was pretty amazing. So the first thing I had to do a couple of years ago, I did like a girls trip with my friend Laura and Laura Nelkin. It, we went to our trade show, H&H, which is in Cologne, Germany. But we flew in and out of Amsterdam and we hung out with Mika, Salt and Stone Knits, Mika John, and we had just like the most incredible time. And I asked Mika, what were those pancakes? Because I needed to get those pancakes. The second I landed, it was these savory pancakes. They're amazing. And just Amsterdam is so beautiful. It's indescribable. Every place you look is another gorgeous view. Okay. Then we headed to Stephen and Penelope. This is the whole gang. This is all of us. It was quite a fantastical little group. I'm just gonna switch one view because this is making me crazy. Because I can't see. I'm gonna do program view there in my little monitor. Ah, that's better. Now I don't have to deal with this delay. So that's all of us, and except for Jody, next to Tracy, there is half a head. There's just half a head over there. Trust me, that's Jody. We thought that was kind of funny that we lost half her head. But we had such great time. So we went all around the shop. We went nuts in there, and I'm going to show you my yarn purchases. Don't worry. Stephen was there and did like a little impromptu shawl fashion show, which was awesome. There's Cabin Boy Knits, and Christopher and Jamie are the most delightful people, and I just was going to take a picture of them shopping. But Jamie, who's looking at the camera, is an ex-model. So I said, oh, just look like you're shopping. And Jamie immediately gave me the, which I loved. Oh my God, I loved him so much. I loved them both. I loved Grocery Girls Knits. I loved them so much. So like I said, it was Pride weekend. And the crowds were pretty wild. But what was awesome about it is I'm used to Pride in New York, where, everything's in the West Village. And, if you happen to be like on the Upper East Side, which I wouldn't be, but, just for argument's sake, and you forget that it's the last Sunday in June, you might, not realize it's Pride. But Amsterdam, it's everywhere, and it's so beautiful. And they have just the most fabulous music. And so anyway, the parade is on the canal. So we got one tiny little glimpse at it during a walking tour that we did. That was really fun. After our walking tour, Cabin Boy Knits put on their Mountie outfits and headed out. And I was so thrilled to get to pose for them. These are just two of the most delightful humans in the world. So then the next day we went to The Hague, and we got to go to the Delft Pottery Studio, which, is the classic blue and white pottery. And we went to this amazing yarn shop, Crossing Woods. So this was the morning when we set out, and we set out walking. And it was just the most perfect day. It was the most glorious day. And we paused over this one view, and the tour guide said, oh, this is the view that oh my gosh, Van Gogh. I think it was going to go painted. I have to check our, never mind, I'll check it later. And one thing that was cool is we had this one great photographer in our group, Keith, and he was one of the non-knitting companions. We had about 144 knitters, and there were, I think, 30-ish non-knitters, because of course these trips are perfect for non-knitters, because while we're in class, they're doing, it's usually on sailing days, they're doing their own thing, they're enjoying the spa or the pool or hanging out on the deck. So we had cousins and sisters and friends and spouses, and it was just such a nice group. But Keith posted on our WhatsApp, we have these great WhatsApp groups that were like popping, they're still popping, that Michelle from SPJ Retreat set up for us. And one of them was a photo thread. And Keith posted that photo, and he posted the painting, which was very cool. Oh, that is the wrong photo. Oh, no. Uh-oh. 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 Abort. Abort. I updated this whole PowerPoint. Hold on. Hold on. Dang it. All right, I gotta hit refresh on Dropbox because it is not syncing. There we go. You have a new saved version. Yeah, I know I do. Hit refresh. I wrote over an old Scotland one. So hold please. Hold please. Let's try that again. Sorry. Probably didn't, it didn't totally sync. Okay. Allow. Live TV, y'all. Isn't this exciting? So anyway, I'll just talk to you while this is loading. The Hague was so beautiful, and Delft pottery is the blue and white, is that classic pottery, and which I love. And I thought, oh well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun going to the store. But the factory tour was so fascinating. The museum was so fascinating. Come on, you can do it. I'm gonna quit and restart because it's being mean. And I bought a pitcher, which I'm very excited about. And also, this is so lame, but I flew home on KLM and I used my miles. So I treated myself to an upgrade, and I was in business class, and they give you the little houses. For those of you who have flown on KLM, you probably know that. But it's in the Delft Blue Pottery, and they have a bunch of different houses. They're houses from Amsterdam, and they're numbered on the back. So very smart, that so you can remember what number you got. So my husband and I got 2 different numbers, and then it was such a great flight. I immediately, when I got home, called to see how many miles it would take to upgrade my flight home from Budapest for the next cruise, which I'll tell you about. And I did it. I upgraded us, because what are miles for if not for buying upgrades? Oh, this is being so annoying that this is not starting. I'm so sad. I had this like totally ready to go. I was all organized. I'm gonna try it again. Sorry. Or as our Canadian friends would say, sorry. See, it's saying 12:18, but I don't know. I'm gonna, you know what I'll do? I know what I'll do. I'm gonna open it on, let's see, I'm going to open it. Can I do this? Oh my God, I'm so bummed. All right, you know what I'll do? I'm going to start showing yarn instead. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show yarn while this is loading. So first stop is, like I said, we went to Stephen and Penelope, and get this out of the shot. And we got these adorable goodie bags. And I picked up a little something. So these adorable goodie bags, we have this strap that you can attach to any bag. We have this super cool shawl pin, which I totally love, and all these other little goodies. But then I asked Stephen, I said, what is kind of the most special yarn? Because I wanted to get a present for my shipping assistant. And let me see if there we go. So he recommended this. I'm going to show it in the overhead as well. It is hand dyed in the Netherlands, and it is dyed exclusively for Stephen and Penelope. So I picked up one of those, which I love, but that is just our first stop. Then we went to, here, I'm going to make sure this is all set. We went to Crosswoods in the Hague. And hold, please. Going to make sure this is really done before I show it to you. Yes, okay. Okay, so we're back. So when we went to The Hague, like I said, before we go to Crosswoods, we went to the Delft Pottery Factory. And they also had this amazing museum, which was so beautiful. I loved that picture of Jody, because she was having like a quiet moment staring at these beautiful tiles. And I just thought she looked so gorgeous. So I snapped a photo of her when she wasn't paying attention. So that was really, really, really beautiful. And then we went to Cross and Woods, which was really such a cool yarn shop. And as if just going to an amazing yarn shop wasn't fun enough, there was a special surprise treat. And Michelle of SPJ Retreats it was surprise after surprise after surprise. So she worked with the yarn store, and they said, well, why don't we have some local folks come in? So some of you might recognize Nancy Marchand, and that is Mika John, who, by the way, that's Mika, but that's not in the yarn shop. We went out to dinner afterwards, which was really fun. So the yarn shop was stunning, and this is this giant table of We Yarn Company. Let's see if I can get that in. We Yarn Company, which is a hand dyer, and I got some We Yarn Company yarn. I'm going to show it on the overhead. So this is what I treated myself to. Whoops, I lost my head. So I treated myself to this. Look at that color. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And, you know, I love me some local yarn. So this could not get more local. Oh, I've really fallen behind on comments here. No, I'm okay. This could not get more local. This is exclusively hand-dyed for Cross and Woods. And they said that it is delivered on a bicycle to the shop, which I thought was pretty cool. So, by the way, I'm going to try not to just bore the heck out of you guys. So there were just hundreds of photos, but I cannot tell you how amazing this trip was. So our ship was Alma Waterways. And this is Tracy and Michelle. This is Michelle, our fearless leader, and we are boarding. And I just want to take a second to shout out Emma. I have been on other cruise lines with my family that were so fancy, they kind of made me uncomfortable. You know, there was like a dress code, and everything was a little formal in the evening, and, you know, people would say Ms. Lyons. And Alma Waterways, I cannot tell you how much they hit it out of the ballpark. Everything was stunning. The food is amazing. Their wine pours are generous. And the staff is so on it, but friendly. But I would much rather be greeted with, you know, hello, Miss Patty, than hello, Ms. Lyons. I hope you're having a nice evening. No dress code. So everything was like casual and relaxed. no one feeling out of place, like I would feel out of place because I don't have fancy clothes, but yet everything was immaculate and stunning. The stateroom was gorgeous. And we had a pool. So now I've always heard that river cruises don't have pools, which is a lie. Many river cruises don't, but this one did. And by the way, we did really use that pool. And yes, there was a bar. In case you didn't see, this is a bar with bar stools, and there are benches, and so you could just sort of lounge in there, which we totally did. On a hot day, we were up there having our cocktails, just having a gorgeous time. Oh, was the painter Rembrandt? You might be right. I don't know. Sorry, I'm glancing at chat while I do this. So this was, Trixie immediately settled into the stateroom. So we were greeted with champagne and fresh fruit and gorgeous flowers. So that's just a picture of Trixie enjoying her day. Trixie really, really kind of got into the beginning of my trip, and then I was like, okay, you need to stay in the stateroom so I can enjoy it. But Trixie did sort of get out and about at the beginning. So the first night we had our cocktail night, and this is the whole gang. Michelle had an amazing staff. She, Carolyn and Gail. I don't know what we would do without her. You know, and I will tell you, this has nothing to do with the. No, that's not true. I was going to say this doesn't have anything to do with the knitters experience, but that's not true. It does affect the knitters as well. I've done jobs where I've kind of been surprised, like, oh, okay, I have to load in boxes, and oh, I'm stuffing goodie bags, and like I'm physically setting up rooms and everything. But here, Michelle and her team had everything taken care of. And the reason I say that does sort of affect the knitters is because then I was free to just be with knitters. So when someone said like, hey, can you teach me how to knit and purl backwards? Yeah, let's go up to the deck. Yeah, let's, I was just there to hang out with knitters and teach my classes, yes, but also hang out with knitters and just knit. So it was amazing. Of course, I immediately spotted a Simone, so I had to come up to Marie. I think that was Marie. Marie? Yes. Like a weird stalker and be like, hi, can I take a photo with you? Which is just weird, but she was very gracious because I thought she did such a great job. So then this was really fun. The opening cocktail party, Michelle arranged for anyone that wanted to take photos with the group to come on up and take photos with the group. And there was this poll, and sometimes between shots when we were waiting for someone to come up, Jamie would just lean on the pole and Leslie would say, Jamie, get off the pole. So then we had to get on the pole. So that's Jamie and I being just a little bit naughty. Because, anyway. Okay, so then day 2 of the cruise, we're still in Amsterdam. We took a beautiful canal ride. Again, Trixie decided to come with. That's David with Trixie. And it was so relaxing. It was so sunny, but not too hot. It was like the perfect way to start the trip. It was so chill. And then I managed to squeeze in another yarn shop. So when the night before, I had dinner with it was Kim. It was Kim who told me about it. So I had dinner with Tracy and Kim, and Kim lives in Amsterdam. It was very funny because at dinner she was saying, I didn't bring any sweaters for the chilly weather. And I can't remember whether it was Tracy or David who was like, you could run home right now. But anyway, she told me about this yarn store, De F-Stop, and I bought this beauty. So this guy is, this is 85% virgin wool, 15% linen. And I don't know if you can see, it's like flecky and gorgeous. And it was a really sweet shop, but I saw that they had both of my books, and I've always wanted to say, "Hi, I'm Patty Lyons. Would you like me to sign books?" Um, which they were very gracious about. She was like, "Sure, that'd be so sweet." And I realized I don't have an author shot at the back of the book, so nobody actually knows what I look like. So I pulled out my ID, and I'm like, it's really me. I'm not just like a crazy person. Okay, so then the next day, oh no, that was later that night. We boarded and we set sail, and I gave a book talk, and we did book signings, and that was really fun. And that's just the evening. It was so, so beautiful in the evening. And then we arrived in Germany. So here's country number 2, right? Because I said we're 4 countries. And we did a lovely walking tour. The cathedral was gorgeous. I had seen the cathedral before, actually twice, once with my husband back in 2017 and once with Laura and I when we did our girls trip. But I just took a peek. But then, of course, we had to hit the yarn shop, and I found my book in German, which was really fun. And so I again did the, "Hi, I'm Patty Lyons. Would you like me to sign books?" And in Amsterdam, they were kind of excited, but I think it's just how it translates from German. I said, "Would you like me to sign books?" And the woman behind the counter said, "If you want." And I said, "Well, I don't have to. If you want." And she says, "Okay." But anyway, she seemed pleased at the end. But I did get, hold on, I'm trying to see something. I got this guy, which I love. Put it in the overhead. So this is another, this one is a wool linen blend, and it is hand dyed with care in Germany. So I thought that was really, really beautiful because, I likes me the local yarn. So this was the yarn shop. This was me out front being nerdy with my book in German. And then we went rogue because it was such a big group. We were split into 2 groups to each go do a walking tour to one yarn store. But then once we saw the yarn store, we then switched. So then I, went to another yarn store. But then we really wanted to have an authentic German dinner. And so we went to Brauhaus. And that is Jody with her, I have to say, that's Jody with her giant wieners. That's just what it is. I forgot to take a picture of all of us. We were all together. David was there, and Tracy was there, and Jeff and Shane, the grocery boys, Mr. Grocery girls, I don't know, and Christopher and Christopher and Jamie couldn't be there that night. But the thing I loved about Jody is if you can observe down on the table, you have, she said she wanted the schnitzel, she wanted the Wiener Schnitzel, and Spätzle. Now I ordered cheesy Spätzle, as the waiter said, "Oh, you would like German macaroni and cheese?" And I said, yes, I am a 10-year-old. I would like a giant bowl of German macaroni and cheese. That is what I want. So Jody ordered, she said, "I want the schnitzel and I want the Spätzle." And then she said, "Oh, wait, do you have, the wieners?" And he said, yeah. So that you want that instead? She said, no, and. And what about, can we get a bowl of sauerkraut instead? No, and so like food just kept coming. Oh, and then she said, then I ordered, and she said, can I have cheesy schnitzel? And he was really he was a great waiter. He was super sweet, but he was also like a little bit judgy. And he goes, no, that's too much. This is too much. So then I got my cheesy schnitzel, and she's like, it wouldn't have been too much. I wanted it. Which was, I loves me a girl who can eat. So I really admire that. So then back to the ship we went, and I got to get some knitting done, which I got this done. So this is Tortola that came out, I don't remember how long ago. This guy back here, this is Tortola. Now, I was packing, and I found this version. Now, here you go. I had planned way back when on knitting 2 different versions, the one with the cap sleeve, and then I was going to pick up stitches and do my I-cord bind off, and it was going to be a tank. And it was all the way finished. It was completely seamed together, everything, the I-cord bind off. And then I decided, actually, I want half sleeves. So I weighed the yarn, I divided it into 2, and I made half sleeves. So this was me just knitting on the deck, enjoying. The deck was so beautiful. I cannot tell, is anyone still there? There's been no comments, so I can't tell if I'm still in the air or if I'm just like incredibly boring. Someone tell me if you're still there and if I should shut up or if I should keep going. Until I hear otherwise, I'll just keep going. So then we cruised through castles, which was unbelievable. Now, I have a million photos. Do not panic. I did not include a million photos, but I just wanted you to see how close they were. Like we're just cruising down the Rhine, and they're just castle after castle after castle. So this is the upper deck. We're all hanging out. It's sunny. It's beautiful. A bunch of knitters said, hey, can you teach me how to knit and purl backwards. So that was great. 2017 with shots on a different deck. Sue, what does that mean? I'm confused. You tell me later. So again, more castles, so great. Oh, does this play? Oh, so this was just, this is just shot from the upper deck. Oh my God, Renee says, I'm looking up Ammo Waterway sailings in 2026. Well, I'm going to tell you about the next Ammo Waterway sailing with me and Mary Jane Mucklestone in a second. So stay tuned, because I also need to tell you about the prize that someone's going to get. I have a giant bag of goodies here. So giant bag of goodies, stay tuned. Okay. So we're cruising down the Rhine, looking at castles, just unbelievable, just insanely beautiful. Can't believe this is happening. Oh, I spotted these 4 knitters on the deck. How adorable are they? It took me a second to realize they were all wearing matching sweaters. And that's what was so just amazing about this trip. It was really sweet. I asked David, my husband, who loves knitters and knitters love him, what was his favorite part about the trip. And he said, the group. He said, I know this sounds corny, but the group. And by the way, we weren't in front of anybody else. So this was genuine. This was the nicest group of people in the most well-run trip I've ever been on. I'm going to tell you about the presents we got on our bed every night in a second. So somebody commented that one of the things they loved is just being able to sit down anywhere and start talking to people. There were a lot of solo travelers. There were so many people who were like, this is so many firsts. I've never traveled by myself. I've never gone to Europe. I've never been on a riverboat. And the thing that was so amazing, Michelle helps of SPJ Travels, helps pair people up if they really want to find a roommate, you know, and then somebody else wants to find a roommate, they'll be like, oh, there you go. So they can share because obviously it's less expensive to share. And I was having dinner with these two knitters, and they were talking about their plans to go to Rhinebeck, and then they were talking about the next knitting trip they were going to take together. And I said, oh, how long have you guys known each other? And they said, we just met on this cruise. And that happened again and again and again, which I thought was really amazing. So I'm going to tell you about Danube in a second. That was when, yes, Tortola was added with on a different cruise. That's true. Okay. So then we went to, did a little wine tasting in this cool wine cave. And we went on a gondola ride, which was so relaxing. I mean, when Jody and Tracy took this ride, they were already up at the top when we got there. And she said the same thing, which is like, oh my God, I could have been on that thing for an hour. It was so beautiful and so chill and so relaxing. So we're in Rudesheim now, and it had the most adorable streets, where we again found a fabulous restaurant. That's the girls. That's Jody and Tracy looking so adorable on the most adorable street. And again, could I love Jody anymore for how that girl can eat? I mean, I don't like dainty eaters. I just don't. I am not a dainty eater. I believe that the world is divided into two groups: those who eat to live, and those who live to eat. Oh my God, Jackie, is the water calm? It's a riverboat, and it's low. We are right on the water. You can't feel anything. It's just gliding. So yeah, this is a river where the banks are on either side. So it's not like an ocean cruise, and it's just, you can't feel a thing. It's so beautiful. Okay, now I have to talk about the yarn shop on the ship. So again, in the realm of thinking of everything, Michelle, the cruise organizer, was like, you know what would be fun? We will set up some yarn shop visits. Like in the pre-cruise tour, we went to The Hague, we went to Steve and Penelope, we went to yarn stores in Cologne. But she's like, but you know what? What if we put a yarn shop literally on the ship? Now, there were two amazing yarn vendors. Prue, this is my bad. I did not read the schedule carefully enough to notice when the shop was done for the cruise. Obviously, they needed time to clean up and put their stuff away before we docked. I don't know what I was thinking. So I was able to shop from one, but not from the other, from Prue Yarns. And I'm going to add all these links below. But look at this that I got. Look at this gorgeousness. So this is 60% non-superwash, 20% silk, 20% ramie. So I think, I don't know, I'll make like a little top out of this. But I loved this. I loved this so much. And these are the wonderful folks behind the yarn company. And that's just the evening. That's us sailing. Then Grocery Girls did a podcast live, which unfortunately I tried really hard. I thought, ooh, I'm going to project them on the big screen. I had all my connectors. Anyway, that part didn't work out. So eventually we just disconnected, and they just did the podcast, and it was so fun. It was so fun. And then, I just wanted you to see at nighttime, things got a little wild. So one of the things that was funny was the end of the cruise. David, our amazing cruise director, not my David, totally different David, was saying, this was not what I thought it was going to be, traveling with 144 knitters, because we were, we had fun. We know how to have fun. Just had to take a shot of the moon over the river every night. It was so beautiful. Oh, right, we're cruising. I forgot that was a little video. that's just, so as far as the question, is it calm? That gives you a sense of what it's like. So this is where I stopped labeling because I was like, oh my God, it's almost 2 o'clock. I panicked. So this is every place else we went. We went to, whoops, Ludwigshafen, Basel, Strasbourg. So beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. One day we went on a hike. So there were all these excursions. Every day you land someplace new, and there's excursions, there's castle tours, there's walking tours, there's hikes, there's bike rides, vineyard walks, wine tasting, just so much to do. So that's why all the non-knitters also had a great time. So this day we did a hike, and there's our group. It was really a fun group. Oh, there's now we're back from the hike, and it was hot, and we enjoyed some pool time. Oh, this is cool. So we went through 12 locks, and that's us in the pool going through one of the locks. It was just, I don't know. I thought it was pretty wild. Like we never quite grew tired of it. We thought it was just very cool. We really enjoyed that. Now, Friday night, we were treated to a very special performance. Mr. Jamie, Bell. Oh! I forgot Jamie's. Oh no! I'll have to look it up. I forgot Jamie's Bell Blue something. But we got a fabulous evening performance, and this was "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" with Christopher. Which was Mountie. Oh, what was it? Was Mountie Aubergine. Mountie Aubergine was very fun and adorable. One of my favorite morning rituals is coffee on my balcony. So again, the staff was so amazing. The woman who was working like helping out with the room. She called herself a butler, which is a really weird thing to say. But anyway, I just randomly commented one day that I liked the pastries. And so even though I would order just a cup of coffee, she would deliver a pot of coffee and little pastries. Like how nice is that? Now we're in Strasbourg, which was the most beautiful. Yes, I managed to stumble into some yarn stores. Thank you, Bluebell Bijou, says Janice. Thank you, Janice. And Karen posted it too. Sorry, I panicked. I forgot Bluebell Bijou's name. Strasbourg is ridiculous. It is like you are in a Disney movie. Somebody said they felt like they were Belle from Beauty and the Beast, which is so true. It's ridiculously beautiful. This was in Basel, I think. I spotted this. This is a tatting store, and it was really stunning. So that was in the window. Okay, Maureen. Got to talk about Maureen. So one of the things that Michelle organized was a Chemo cap drive. And for every cap that you brought in, you got one raffle ticket. And there was a drawing, and 6 cruisers won a dinner at the chef's table restaurant, which is like a multi-course meal with wine with every course. So beautiful, with me and Cabin Boy Knits and Grocery Girl Knits. And Maureen made 40 hats. And she decided she had to knit a hat for the captain and the captain's assistant. So that's Maureen, just looking adorable with our adorable captain and their new knitted hats. These are all out of order. This is Basel as well. Basel was so, so beautiful. And they had these fountains, and all of the fountains were it was potable water. It was beautiful, cool drinking water, but you could just stick your water bottle under there, which of course David thought was really cool. They also had this really amazing rock and roll mural. So of course, for those of you out there in TV land who know me, you know who I'm going to take a picture of, the love of my life. So now it's time to say goodbye. This is the last night, and we dressed up nice, and Jamie just looked particularly adorable. We were going through our last look, and that was actually my cocktail, but I told him to hold it because it matched his pants. And I took one. I should have taken a picture every day of my bed. Every night, which is going to lead me to talk about the prize that I have for you. Every night, we came home to presents on our bed. Like this, we would come home to something like this. So, dinner with the podcasters. Yeah, podcasters and me. I was there too. I know that I was, but yes, it was mostly exciting to be with the other folks. I got this from Skane Sisters. So this was, I think, my Prezi. Ooh, it's stuck. This is their yarn. And Skane Sisters is coming with us on the Danube. Again, I'm going to tell you about the Danube in a second. This is another goodie that we got. This is yarn from Rosehaven. This is, of course, look at that gorgeousness, Cabin Boy Knits. I love the look of this yarn. And this is all naturally dyed. That's the jam, right? It's all, and this is Wensleydale. And then I got yet another skein, different yarn. This is the sock yarn from Skane Sisters. So every night we would come back and find a present on our bed. Every single night. Oh, I know, I did forget the bingo game. So there was so much to tell. Yes, one night we had bingo night, and there was a very hot and heavy bingo game that involved the prize being a cruise to Portugal with my friend Lauren Elkin. And Grocery Girls. And there was a tie, so there was a tiebreaker. It was very dramatic. It was extremely dramatical. Okay, but I have to tell you now about what you might win. So let me tell you about the Danube and what's in this bag. Okay, so the next cruise, you all were saying you wanted to find out where Alma Waterways was going next. So Alma Waterways, by the way, this was our last night. I just had to take a shot of the sunset, and I woke up in the morning on our last morning, and that's what I saw. That's the view out the window. So you can't miss this beauty, this beautiness. It's just unbelievable. So end of November into December, about 4 months from now, 3.5 months from now, three-quarter months from now, about a third of a year away, we are going down the Danube River. I've made you a very easy bit.ly link, bit.ly, SPJ, Danube. We are going on the Danube, and we are going for the holiday markets. So we'll be cruising down the Danube. It's me, Mary Jane Mucklestone. Skane Sisters are going to be back. Espace Tricot are going to be back. And everything is included. So your goodies, all your meals, all your excursions, all your classes, everything is included. So the Rhine River cruise sold out like that. And the Danube sold like 75% like that. But we still have a few spaces. Now, my theory is it is you leave on Thanksgiving weekend. But here's the thing. Canadians, Aussies, folks from the UK, you don't care about American Thanksgiving. And my American friends, how much time do you really need to spend with your family? I am going to my brother's early. I'm going there on Tuesday. I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thanksgiving Day, and then I leave for the cruise on Friday. You too can do that. So I have a little incentive for anyone that books the Danube between now and next Friday. So not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. So a whole week you have to get your affairs in order. That sounds like you're dying. Get your schedule in order and book the Danube. And what I have here is a bag full of goodies. I'm going to unpack it. I'm going to start unpacking it, and I'm going to show you everything you're going to win. Because I traveled with my husband, I got doubles of some things. So I put together all of these goodies for you. So not only will you get, you can pretend you cruise down the Rhine with us, and this adorable enamel pin, but we have one of those great yarn feeder thingies. We have this fabulous row counter. We have a little spin cycle. We have this great Notions bag. We have a yarn store passport, little notepad, some hand balm, some doodle decks, and a yarn pack, all in this goodie bag. So this is how it's going to work. Anyone that books the Danube between now and a week from tomorrow, you're going to say to Michelle, you know, I'm in for the goodie bag. And Michelle's going to give me all the names. I'm going to put them in a hat, and I'm going to draw one winner for this goodie bag. It's going to be awesome. So what we're doing is we're cruising on the Danube, and we're going to the holiday markets. So the famous Christmas markets along the Danube. We're going to Vienna. We're going to Budapest. We're going to all the places. You're going to get there's going to be a class from me, an Ask Patty session from me. There's 2 sessions with Mary Jane Mucklestone as we're cruising. You've got all of your excursions, all that stuff. Dr. Joyce is coming. I'm very excited. Okay. So everyone that's been mulling over taking a knitting river cruise where it's a full charter, it's just us. There's nobody staring at us going, what is that? Is that crochet? It's just us. Anyone that wants to join us on the most beautiful trip ever, book now, and you're in for the drawing. Okay, just catching up on comments. Questions. Does anyone have any questions? Winnie's dinner with the, oh yeah. Oh, it won't scroll back. Oh, Sue, that's so nice. Congrats on the book sales. Thank you. Yes, I hope I will see your entries in the hashtag Travels with Trixie and hashtag Trixie Taught Me. And just catching up on Sue, what does that mean? 2017 was shots on a different deck. Oh, you're talking about Tortola. Sorry. Yes, totally different deck. I'm sorry. My brain was broken. Yes, I'm totally with you now. Okay, I have so much to do. I have to get ready for meeting with my editor and a whole bunch of other things. So does anyone have any questions? Do you have any comments? Any cries for help? Is anyone coming on the Danube with me? I'm so excited. I love Stephanie. I love the Skene sisters. I love them. And I love Mary Jane Mucklestone. I'm so excited. And, you know, my husband and I usually, thank God for David. The cruise did have a little bit of a rough start for me just because I had a terrible bout of vertigo, which I haven't had in several years. And the funny thing is when we got to the Amsterdam airport and I could barely walk, like he was helping me stay steady. And the vertigo lasted like about 4 days into the trip. I finally got it to go away. But all of a sudden I had the biggest sense of deja vu of like, I remember stumbling through Schiphol. Why? And I forgot the last time we had been in that airport in Amsterdam was when I had cranial nerve palsy in my eye, and I also couldn't walk straight. So David is so helpful to travel with. I also had this bizarre allergic reaction to something in the woods. It started before I left home. I had this huge rash on my neck, and I thought it was just bug bites, but it could have been anything. It could have been a mushroom that I touched or some plant, and it started to spread across my neck. So I said to Michelle, don't panic, but I'm going to go see a doctor in Amsterdam. So we went to see a doctor, and I got some drugs. But anyway, so it was a bit of a rough start, but nobody knew because I had David there to help me, because he is the handiest helper when I travel. Like, he carries all the heavy stuff. He helps me keep track of stuff so that I can just focus on the knitters, which is amazing. And for those that have traveled with David before, you know he's also adorable and he loves knitters. So he too will be on the Danube. So there. Maria says, do it. It's an amazing experience. It really was. Can spouses come on the Danube? Heck to the yes, Gretchen. Yes, we had about 30 non-knitting companions. And I don't know if that includes Shane and Jeff, or whether that's like 32, or whether that includes David and that's like 33. But yes, these trips are perfect for couples to share, because obviously it's less expensive when you share a cabin together, but plus we're in class when we're sailing. So again, when we're sailing is when the non-knitting companions are enjoying, being on the deck, being in the pool, and just lounging about. And then when we get to a place, we're all doing the excursions. So it's really, I think the non-knitting companions had a great time. And they were so nice. We really got to know people. I mean, I didn't get a chance to get to know everybody as well as I would have liked to, because there were a lot of us, but I ate dinner and lunch with different people every day, and it was just really great. Oh, Janice says my husband loved the cruise. Yeah, so did mine. I mean, he really did. Like, those of you out there in TV land probably know that I'm pretty honest. So, work is work. Like, often people will try to suck me into trips and not pay and say like, oh, just think of it like a vacation. But when I'm working, like, I want to be there. I want to be there for the knitters. I go to all the excursions. I'm in. But I legitimately had an amazing time. Like, David and I got home and we were exhausted, and we were both like, I miss the river. I miss looking out the window at dinner. The dining room is right at water level. You're just sitting there having dinner, and you're just at water level. You're watching the adorable towns go by. It was pretty cool. Yeah, lots of knitting adjacent partners and friends came along. Yeah, we had the sisters, cousin, friends. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Okay. Well, there you go. That was the trip. I just wanted to share it with you. It is just one last glimpse at Basel. I mean, I woke up in the morning and that's what I see out my window. Like, come on. I mean, right? Come on. And the other thing that's neat is how close together everything is in Europe. So a ton of people extended their trip and either did stuff before or after or both. So the WhatsApp is still popping. I have people, posting pictures from Paris and from London and this one guy, Peter, who is so funny. Peter is a knitter, but But he started knitting because his wife, Sarah, was going to a pub every night, going to a knitting group. And Peter's like, why are you going to the pub every week without me? What's up with that? And she said, well, you have to learn how to knit then. So he did. He learned how to knit. So, but anyway, it was so smart. I've never thought of this, but he mentioned like, oh, there was no nonstop flight back from Basel. So they took a train to Paris and they spent a couple days there and then they flew home from there, which I've never thought to do, which is brilliant. But someone posted on Instagram today, are you doing another cruise out of Amsterdam? And I said, well, the next one's the Danube. And she's like, no, I really want to go to Amsterdam. But of course, it's so easy to add that before or after. In fact, my flight home from Budapest is going through Amsterdam. So like, it's just a quick boink, little hop over to Amsterdam, which has a lot of nonstop flights. So like if you said, you know what, I want to go to Amsterdam afterwards and spend a couple days, then boom, you're in Amsterdam. So yeah, I'm really excited to go to Budapest. It has the oldest synagogue in the world, which I'm incredibly excited to see. Yeah, so there. So remember, giant bag full of goodies could be yours to whoever. It's going to be a random drawing of everyone that books the Danube. So I expect the rest of those cabins to fill by the end of next week. And don't forget, if you want to stay with somebody else, just ask. So anyway, that's all. I should probably go. But I should just tell you, just in case you're wondering, did I get any yarn? I did. I got some yarn. Oh, and this was kind of cool. Check this out. This was the first class bag from KLM. I'm sorry, that's a knitting bag. I mean, isn't it? Am I crazy or is that just a knitting bag? So there you go. Okay. Last call for any questions. Go into the chat before I go do some work. I'm finally fully unpacked, but holy moly. I'm in the middle of book writing, getting ready for go out of town again, and I'm also in the middle of a renovation in our new apartment in Brooklyn. So lots going on. Okay, last call. Well, thank you everyone for showing up. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna go. Bye everyone.